This illustration deals with disconnection of the grounded conductor in accordance with NEC 230.75 informational note. Purpose of change, we provided, or the code panel provided here, a new informational note. It was added to provide information for users of the National Electrical Code that is not currently present in the NEC. The term neutral disconnect length is the term used to in the product standards, so that's been revised here by for manufacturers. It is also the term used to label requirements for the outside of the enclosure on the switchgear section where the neutral disconnecting length is located. And it's stated, you know, the manufacturers kind of use that disconnected link terminology. Now notice if we look at the switchgear itself, first we have our disconnects up here, and we could, you know, have barriers separating it, or we could have up to 6 switches there in there. And what we're talking about, 1, 2, 3, 4 regulates everything below it, and we have barriers. Now, that has to be designed that way to meet 230.70B, and we're looking at that item number 3. Now, notice midsection switchgear 408.3A2 an exception. So that kind of outlines, you know, yeah, we could have that. See. Now, the grounded neutral conductors in the call out with the below here where you have this link here that disconnects the neutrals, then notice the grounded neutral conductors with disconnect length in accordance with 230.75 informational note. And also you need to review 408.3A2 exception, and those kind of combine together to give you a good feel for what's taking place here. I say you need to look at them both. Now notice, you know, people say, well, you can't run all the A's in one conduit, or all L1s, all L2s, all L3s, and the neutral. But notice this system is 500.5I exception 2, and for this type of installation, we're coming into a non-metallic bottom or open bottom, and this is all non-metallic, and it's installed according to 230.75 informational note, but it also, since these are non-metallic raceways, PVC, then this would allow this totally, there's no metal involved here to make this type of installation. Now, if we're not using the exception 2 to 300.5I, no, we would have to have L1, L2, L3, and neutral in the same conduit to comply with 310.10G is in gray in the National Electrical Code. Now let's close this thing out by reviewing our notes, and notice when barriers are involved, see table 230.62C in the 2020 NEC. Now we looked at that, about those barriers. For new equipment added to include surge protection, see table 230.67 in the 2020 NEC. Now, review these sections, and I know we give you call-outs when we could just give you the change itself, but I don't think we're really giving you the information that you need to understand why a particular change took place. So kind of keep that in mind as you go through and look at some of these illustrations. It's a little busy, but we do it for your benefit, not ours. It would be much easier for us just to give you the change. But we try to give you these other sections so that you get the overall picture why a particular change was made. Then don't forget that you can look at the table above the illustration, and you can review those sections and pick up additional information, like NFPA 70B, C2.2, and that refers you to the NEC for this requirement on these switch gears. OSHA 1910 304E, we'll talk about this, see. NFPA 70E, Article 100, defines the rule for safety when you're providing the margin of safety with this gear. So, and it goes into a lot of detail. And then Chapter 2 of NFPA 70 would deal with it, which we've just looked at. So if you want to go into more additional information, if you need to, then these tables appear with these sections or what electricians use. And we can basically say that OSHA drives these area standards here. So with that thought in mind, we'll go to the next illustration.